Hi, my name's Derek Tye, and welcome back to another episode of Cincinnati Real Estate Reviews. I'm your host, Derek Tye. Today we're going to be talking about the area of Oakley and Hyde Park. This is a suburb of the Greater Cincinnati area. We're going to talk about the walkability, the location of shops, restaurants. Is it walkable? Is it dog friendly? We're going to talk about the schools, and we're going to give you home values that are actual of the last 6 months. And stick around at the end. We're going to give you the 3 things we dislike about Oakley and Hyde Park and the 3 things we love about the area. Let's go. Welcome back, I'm Derek Tye, and I've been a realtor here since 2004. Today we're going to explore those neighborhoods, Hyde Park and Oakley, and since they are right next to each other, a lot of my real estate clients kind of lump them together, and when they're searching for homes, they kind of are looking in both sections. So let's go ahead and start with why the Greater Cincinnati area. Starting with the business community, there are a ton of Fortune 100 companies here, small businesses, and even startups. There's great schools from preschools all the way to top universities. We have world-class sports like the Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, Houday, and soccer. We've got amazing parks, both city, township, even state parks everywhere. We have lots of friendly people that smile, which I like. Farmers markets all over town, world-class fine arts and entertainment, restaurants, the Cincinnati Zoo, world-class hospitals, an international airport, and even great real estate home values. So where are the neighborhoods of Hyde Park and Oakley located? Hyde Park and Oakley are neighborhoods just northeast of downtown Cincinnati, and they're in Hamilton County. They're near the other towns of Mount Lookout, Norwood, and East Walnut Hills. The downtown areas of each one are actually pretty small, but the mailing addresses used are basically not only just the downtown little shopping center areas, but the entire neighborhood. So if you hear about Hyde Park or Oakley, the zip codes you'll hear referenced, Hyde Park is 45208 and Oakley is 45209. The streets in town kind of blend seamlessly from one to the other, so you might be driving on a street in Hyde Park and then at the next stop sign it turns into Oakley or vice versa. So that's another reason why we're putting these 2 neighborhoods in one video. So how close are the highways and the downtown area to Oakley and Hyde Park? Well, if you take I-71 south into downtown, you're really only about 15-minute drive, and most of the time it could be a little less. You can also take some back roads to get down there as well. There are many hospitals within a 5-mile radius to the Oakley and Hyde Park area, including UC Health, Good Samaritan Hospital, 2 urgent cares, the Christ Hospital, the Jewish Hospital, and there are a couple other outpatient centers. The CVG, which is our Greater Cincinnati Airport, is located about 25 minutes south of the Hyde Park and Oakley area. So you just jump on I-71, go south, go through downtown Cincinnati, into northern Kentucky, and in Hebron, Kentucky is where the airport is. So what makes the Hyde Park and Oakley area special? Well, first of all, the history is kind of cool. So back in the late 1800s, some of the wealthy Cincinnati business people pulled together and developed a bunch of the land in that area, and they wanted to create a great residential area for people working downtown Cincinnati, that they wouldn't have too far of a drive or commute basically to get to an upscale Cincinnati home suburb. So they created these attractive streets in these little town square areas. What's also beautiful is that these are close to the downtown area of Cincinnati, which we have these 7 hills around Greater Cincinnati, and the hills that are on the perimeter of downtown Cincinnati kind of are beautiful to look at. So if you're commuting from Cincinnati into Hyde Park, you see the hills, and when you get into Hyde Park, they're also known for some beautiful gentle rolling hills, older trees, beautiful historic monuments and sculptures, churches, and buildings. Also the proximity to downtown. So there are a lot of people that just want to be close to downtown to work, but they also want to be in that cool, hip vibe of having a neat neighborhood that's not too far away. So that's one reason why it's so popular. There are two major universities that are very close by. Those are Xavier University, which one of my sons goes to, and then University of Cincinnati. So people do end up getting apartments and live with other people that live in that area just so that they can be close to one of those two universities if they're currently going to school there. Is there good shopping in Hyde Park and Oakley? Well, the downtown historic part of Hyde Park is called the Hyde Park Square, and that actually has over 100 shops. I couldn't even believe, like the last time I drove down there, just how many shops and stores there are. Anything ranging from clothing and accessories like Lululemon to fine jewelry, even specialty shops. And there's actually a city park right in the middle of the Hyde Park Square. If you're thinking about Oakley, it has its own little downtown area ranging from clothing and accessories and shops. It also has a little bar, and then also there's a big toy store that's famous in the area called King Arthur's Court. The surrounding business district around these two areas is just to the north. That's Rookwood Commons shopping area, and that's got a ton of shopping options. If you are staying in the Hyde Park and Oakley areas, you'll find Kroger's, Fresh Market, and other chain stores there too. Within about a 10-minute drive, you're going to get to Kenwood Town Center, and you're also going to get to other shopping areas. In about 20 minutes, you can get to an outlet mall. So in that greater area, 10-20 minute drive, you're going to find pretty much every major chain, Walmart, Target, Costco, all those major retailers you can get to in about 20 minutes. So what about restaurants in the area? Well, right in town, you can walk or bike to a lot of the restaurants. That's one of the things that people find very appealing, is they could leave their house and walk right into the town squares and have a bite to eat, have a drink, go shopping, go to the park, have ice cream after. It's all right there in town. There are many types of restaurants, from the fast food chains like Chipotle all the way to some nicer restaurants in the downtown shopping square areas. So what are my favorite restaurants in the area? I love Grater's ice cream. It's one of my favorites. A lot of times if we go out to dinner, we'll just walk into Hyde Park Square and the Grater's is right there. We love having an ice cream. We also love Aglomisi's Brothers ice cream, and that's actually in Oakley. So if you're looking for a little downtown ice cream shop, Buskin Bakery is one of our favorites. They've been here forever. They've got everything from donuts to pastries, and in lunchtime they have lunch foods. There's a Sleepy Bee Cafe in Oakley. My wife loves to have breakfast there. And then there's an Unwind wine bar in Hyde Park. So we've been there before too, done some wine tastings and sampled some wine. It's just a cool, chill vibe there. One of our favorite restaurants by far in the area is Alfio's. That is actually an Italian Argentinian restaurant, and that is in Hyde Park Square as well. So if you're in town or if you're thinking about buying here, you're probably going to want to check that restaurant out. So what parks are around the area? Well, there are just a few city parks in the Hyde Park and Oakley area. That's Madison Park, where there's a play area, and that's in Hyde Park. Then you have East Hyde Park Commons, which is a playground in Oakley, and they've got swing set and stuff for kids. And then there's the little tiny park called Hyde Park Square. That's actually, there's a fountain, trees, and then most people will just kind of grab an ice cream and sit there while they're kind of in that downtown square area. I'm going to give you a bonus park. This park is not in Hyde Park proper, but Alt Park is really famous in the area. You're going to see a ton of views and scenery, and people just love it. There's places to walk and weddings happening, prom pictures, homecoming pictures, senior pictures. It's so scenic that people really love it, and they keep coming back year after year to take more and more photos. If you're in that area, you're definitely going to want to check out Alt Park. Is this area dog friendly and walkable? Well, that's one of the greatest things about the Hyde Park and Oakley areas both, is they're very walkable and very dog friendly. There's a farmer's market in Hyde Park on Sundays, May through October, and that has obviously seasonal favorites offered from the farmers and vendors, and people love to bring their dogs. There's also parks around the area that we mentioned. They're all dog friendly as well. In addition, there's an interconnected sidewalk system all throughout both neighborhoods, and a lot of people walk their dogs around to shops and stores and restaurants and bring their dogs along. The sidewalk options are pretty much everywhere. So if you leave your home, you're probably going to be on a sidewalk. And then once you get on the sidewalk system, sky's the limit. You can pretty much go anywhere in these two areas connected by a sidewalk. So what school options are in the area? Well, there's preschool options by the dozens right around the Hyde Park and Oakley areas. If you're sending your kids to a public school, if they're elementary or up through high school, they're going to be part of the Cincinnati Public School District. And depending on what street you live in, you may go to a different school. So if you really want to explore specific street addresses and you want to know which elementary or high school your child's going to go to, I would recommend visiting the Cincinnati Public Schools website for all that information. If you're looking for ratings on specific school districts, I would go to the Ohio Report Card site. And if you're looking for a link on that, reach out and we'll be happy to provide you that link so you can look up all the statistics and ratings for any school district in Ohio. There are a ton of private school options in and around Hyde Park and Oakley. So if you're looking for options there, you can just Google 45208 or 45209 in the words private schools, and you're gonna find a ton on the list. You might see on there Moeller, St. X, Miami Valley Christian Academy, McNicholas, Summit Country Day, Cardinal, Pacelli School, or even the Seven Hills School, but there's a lot more options even after that. So now to my favorite part, what kind of homes are in Hyde Park and Oakley and how much do they cost? Well, there are several different types of ways you can live in the area. You can live in an apartment, you can buy a condo, and then they have basic condos and even luxury high-rise condos. There's a lot of 100-year-old plus historic family homes, and you have new construction that's certified with all the latest green technology. So what construction types are most common in Hyde Park and Oakley? Well, most homes have brick and stone, and some even have vinyl siding or even aluminum or wood siding. Most of the older homes have unfinished stone basements. Some of the newer homes have concrete basements, and some of them are finished, some of them aren't. On the garage side, you're gonna get detached garages are really common in the backyard, usually 1 or 2 car detached garages. Some homes have the drive-in garage where they're kind of in that basement level as well. So where do you park? Well, in Hyde Park, most of the places there are on-street parking, but in addition, people park in their driveways, in their backyards, in a parking area, or inside of a garage. So the prices of homes sold recently in Oakley, let's start there. So condos in the last year in Oakley have sold for an average of $444,000 at an average of $227 per square foot. The 3-bedroom detached single-family homes have averaged $365,000 with a $233 price per square foot. 4-bedroom homes in Oakley in the last 6 months, up and including the luxury homes, have been priced out at $588,000 average with a $277 per square foot average. Now let's talk about Hyde Park prices. Condos in the last year have sold for an average of $375,000 at $222 a square foot. The 3-bedroom homes have averaged $505,000 at $274 a square foot, and 4-bedroom up, including the luxury homes, have averaged $1,063,000 or $309 per square foot. Now these prices always change literally every day as 6 months keeps rolling along. So if you're looking for today's prices or values or what something for sale is listed at, just contact us directly and we'll be happy to help you on that. So now it's time for what are the 3 things I dislike about the area? Well, the first thing is the I-71 access coming south from the north side of the town can sometimes get super congested. So everyone's trying to get off the highway coming south at that exit ramp near the Rookwood Commons. And then there's a big shopping area there in Norwood, Rookwood Commons, bordering Hyde Park. So that can get really jammed up with traffic. So you just need to be a little patient and you will get through it eventually. The second thing I dislike about the area is another small town issue, but parking, right? So if you want to be downtown in the little shopping areas and you want to be close to the restaurants, the bars, the shops, you're going to have to find a parking spot. Sometimes those are very limited. Some of them have parking meters, some of them don't. You may have to, drive around the block a couple times or even park a few blocks away into more of the residential area to find a parking spot. But if you don't mind that, it's not a big deal. The third thing I dislike about the area is the streets. So the streets are pretty narrow. They were designed, over 130 years ago or so. So they're a little narrow. Some of them are pretty beat up. Like the city sometimes is on a little bit of a delay on getting the potholes fixed or where the concrete curbs have collapsed a little bit. So if you're in a low clearance car or a luxury car or like a sports car, you might have to drive a little slow through those areas just to make sure that you don't bottom out the car here and there. Most of the streets are fine. Just be careful. Some of the streets that haven't been touched in a few years might get a little dicey for you. So what are the 3 things I love about the neighborhood? Let's start with access to downtown. Downtown Cincinnati is only about 15 minutes away. That includes access to the Aronoff Arts Center, Cincinnati Bengals, which were season ticket holders today, the Cincinnati Reds, and all kinds of other venues. So if you're looking for a residential neighborhood that's got kind of a cool feel, but also very close to downtown, that's one thing I love about Hyde Park and Oakley. The second thing I love about the neighborhood are the sidewalks. They're everywhere. So I believe that almost every single home in the entire Hyde Park and Oakley areas have some kind of sidewalk access that will get you to one of the town squares, to get you to shops, to get you to restaurants, get you to walk your dog, get you to a park. That's a huge benefit and something I really love about the Hyde Park and Oakley areas. The third thing I love about these areas are the beautiful architecture. So I'm a house nerd. I've loved houses since I was a little kid. I got into real estate early, and for the last 30 years or so that I've owned homes, I can tell you that I just love homes. I love architecture, and these homes in Hyde Park and Oakley are just beautiful to look at. Whether you're looking at the late 1890s examples that are out there, all the way to some of the new construction, they've done some really neat things to make them look historic. So if you're into architecture, it also includes the buildings, the churches, even the downtown square area. The architecture is just beautiful. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch this video review on the Hyde Park and the Oakley areas in Greater Cincinnati. So do me a favor, if you liked what you saw here, like the video and subscribe for even more videos we'll be doing in the future. If you have a comment that you can add, maybe a place that I forgot. I mean, there's only 15 minutes to do all these things I love about the neighborhoods. Add it in the comments below. What's something that you love about Hyde Park or Oakley? And do me a favor, if you need any help in the Greater Cincinnati area and you want specific advice or help with buying or selling a home, just reach out to us directly and we'll get right back to you. I hope you have a great day and we'll see you soon.